Welcome back to IGN Live at E3 2016. I'm Ryan McCaffrey, joined by Microsoft's Aaron Greenberg, and joining us, studio head from the Coalition, Rod Ferguson. Great to have you.
Thank you. Glad you had time to fit me in.
We'll make time for you, my friend. Yeah.
We are not worthy, Rod. I mean, come
Gears
on.
of War 4 is what we are here, what you're here to talk about.
Yeah.
Boy, was this an impressive demo. I've told you in person that, you know, I love Gears, but that reveal last year, you know, it just didn't quite pump me up the way I wanted to. I got that this year.
Oh, good.
Tell me about what went into. I'm just giving you my opinion.
No, we love it. That's what we always want that.
Being
Always
honest.
want that.
This year's demo. How do you go into deciding what to show?
Right. Well, a lot of it is like trying to find that special moment. You know, going in, if you've done this enough, you know you have 7 minutes. So you go like, okay, what 7 minutes do I have that I can use to convey as much as I can? And so that's what you try to look at. And finding for us is really finding that killer co-op moment, like our skeet shooting moment, and getting those co-op executions, and getting to show some of the juvie play and some of the drone play, and then really getting the wind flare and the storm wall coming in to really highlight sort of the special, you know, gameplay features of the game.
Well, let's show some of that right now. Actually, let's roll that. With Rod, we've got him sitting here. We can talk through. Talk to me. The thing that most impressed me. Now, you guys are doing 30 frames per second campaign, 60 frames multiplayer, so that you can dial up the fidelity in the campaign, which is what I want for sure out of a out of a Gears campaign experience.
So this is from the demo that we're doing at the booth. So this is a much bigger. This is a 20-minute experience.
Oh, good.
That people can come. And so if you come to the theater into our booth, you actually get to see a 4K PC Win 10 demo and playing crossplay with an Xbox One S doing HDR. And so you get to see both that, all of those features all firing at the same time in a crossplay. And so this is part of the discovery. This is, again, you know, you're trying to survive the night and discover what is this new threat that's taken Kate's mom, Reyna. And so these are the juvies that are one of our new swarm creatures that are super mobile. And one of the design ideas around them was to create a highly mobile creature that can almost prepare you for multiplayer. So they wall bounce, they do a little bit high movement back and forth to kind of get you ready for multiplayer. But yeah, so it's all about sort of this surviving this one night. And when you have this sort of moonlit night, HDR looks amazing on the Xbox One S.
Well, you know, one of our guys in the post show earlier asked, "Are there any daytime levels in this game?" Are there any daytime levels in this game?
There is. It opens in day and ends in day. So, like I said, you start in the day and you end in the day. But a lot of it, like, we wanted to be as creepy as possible when introducing the monsters. So there's a lot of night in the beginning.
So a common theme I'm seeing from the bits and pieces we've seen of the Gears campaign so far, which of course last year's presentation and this year's, and now this new footage that I'm seeing for the first time, weather. You guys seem to have really focused on weather as a cool atmospheric element.
Yeah, we wanted to be something like, so we went in going like, cover is really important to obviously Gears of War, so how do we make more dynamic cover? And so we wanted to be like, let's change the battlefield. It's different when you leave than when you start. And so how do we do that? And we do a lot of things with destructibles and chippables, and even with the pods you see there popping, and you can create cover, but the wind allowed us to bring in cover, take away cover, and really sort of mess with the enemies. And you saw that in the stage demo, you can blow away cover and see it blow away in the wind, and guys blow away in the wind. So it was meant as a way to amp up that idea of dynamic cover.
It's disrespectful to shoot up those pews like that, Rod.
Of our non-denominational meditation center, as we like to call it.
That's
Look at Rod ready on that one.
So here's an example.
That was gross, but that was cool. You just made cover out of...
So you make cover of the pods, and the thing is that basically once you drop a pod for cover, it then becomes, it can actually pop on you if they shoot it enough. So you can either take away their pod as cover, or they can take away yours. And every time a pod pops, you basically roll the dice. You can either get an empty pod, you can get a pod that has a juvie inside of it, or you can actually have what we call the Screamer. And the Screamer is a pod that what you saw, that happened to me in the demo, is that when it starts to scream, it pops all the pods around it, so all these juvies start flowing out. So yeah, awesome. So you never, every pod you pop, you're rolling the dice.
The shishito pepper of pods.
We're seeing one of the new weapons in action here.
So this is the drop shot. So this is, again, when we had 25 years apiece, where do you get new weapons from? So we started with this idea of taking tools. And so this is the drop shot, a sarin mining tool. Allows you to send out an explosive on a drill bit, and then when you let go of the trigger, it drills down, and the headshots are glorious because it goes right into the center of their chest and blows outwards, which is awesome.
It is the yang to the digger's
exactly,
yin, right?
Right, because we lost the digger because all the locusts went away, and so the digger was a creature, and so we lost that weapon, so now instead of going under, we're going over. So this is the Pouncer. So the Pouncer is a creature that was actually designed for co-op. It's meant to be a pinning creature. It actually goes out of its way to try to jump on you and pin you and force your co-op friend to come and rescue you. And so it actually serves two purposes. One is this pinning, what it does with its quick. twills. It's like get into cover, and like this is forcing you into cover. And then if you're in cover too long, it'll actually jump and knock you out of cover and be a flusher like there. And so you have to get away from it.
That's cool.
And then eventually you can jump, and now you can actually chainsaw it out of the air.
Oh, man.
And the blood does hit the screen. I don't know if you got that.
Exactly.
That is going to leave a mark.
It is.
Oh, let's shower that off later. That's disgusting. Well, I think I'm going to need to roll back through that footage again because that was too good. I think we're going to have to see it again. But
we had lots of exciting announcements today, like with Horde being back. That was obviously something everybody was really interested to hear about. The fact that we revealed Marcus is in the game. Old Man Marcus, I like to call him. I used Old Man Logan as my inspiration for Old Man Marcus. and actually stuff we haven't even talked about yet. The fact that for a limited time, the Gears 360 sort of anthology, the 4 games on 360 will be available for free with Gears 4 when you buy it as part of a backup pad. So you'll get essentially 5 games for the price of 1, and you can play the entire series.
What aren't you putting into this game at this point? There's
as much as we possibly can.
Over-delivering on value, like they always do.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see. What can I ask you about Gears? I mean, this is Unreal Engine 4, correct?
It is.
We're stepping things up. What does that new tech offer you? I mean, obviously you're on a new box as well compared to previous Gears games, but boy, there's a lot more going on here.
Yeah, it
visually.
just allows us to take everything up a notch. You know, now we're doing physically based rendering on the materials and the way that we do lighting and even the tools that we do blueprints for. Like we're a prototype-based shop, so we do a lot of our design isn't a lot of documents. It's actually a lot of prototypes that we get to play and feel. And so that going into that, and what's really nice too is like now as you look at the side, you know, the idea of the future proofing of the titles that you do implementing things like one of the things we're doing to allow for the Xbox One S and for Project Scorpio is we implemented dynamic scaling on resolution so that as the hardware gets stronger, we're actually able to get a lock to a higher resolution and peg at that resolution.
So this will be Scorpio ready at some point.
Yeah, it'll take advantage of the Scorpio hardware, and so it's those sorts of things. And then when you look at what the Xbox One S is doing in terms of now we're going to have the ability to do HDR, which looks amazing in the theater, and hopefully you'll stop by. But also even, you know, if you have a 4K TV, the Xbox One S scales your stuff up to 4K, and so you'll be able to play it and it's scaled up to 4K.
You guys are making me buy I've had a nice 1080p TV that I've been happy with for like 5 years.
Yeah.
You're costing me money.
We've been playing this game on the Xbox One S in showcasing HDR, and as Rod said, you can really tell a difference. And like the moon was kind of one of the moments we'd stop and we did some side by side. It looks incredible. But just point, like now they know we're building a beast next year with Scorpio, and the 6 teraflops of power are coming. And so being able to design for that, and people can invest in the game this year, buy the game, play it, whether they have an Xbox One S or not, and know that it'll be Scorpio ready next holiday.
That is fantastic. Rod Ferguson, Aaron Greenberg. Gentlemen, thank you so much. The game is Gears of War 4. Look for it this October on your Xbox or Windows 10 PC. We'll be right back with a lot more from E3 2016 live right here on IGN.